Lincoln. We're back
We are back.
with the Aftershow of Swiss cheese treats.
We are, yeah.
All right, we didn't even cover manholes, did we?
We didn't. No. They're just as bad as the potholes.
Yeah. And I want to say even some of the side streets are like where you turn. Some of those like corners are like deteriorated and concrete falling into the street, so you're not even, don't even count that on this either.
Yeah. You'd think with all the stuff that they're doing to try to make it better that it would be better, but I guess you can't fix everything.
Well, you can. It's just going to take a while, and you have to figure out where. I guess the biggest question is, where do you start?
Yeah, because that's a pretty hard one, because there's so many places that they need to start.
Right. But in my opinion, I think they should start with not the major roads. They should start with some of the other roads.
Okay.
Okay. So if you start with some of the side roads, some of the other roads, go through there. There's probably less traffic.
Right.
So that means you start with where there's less traffic. Use the better material, and because there's not a lot of traffic already on there, it's going to hold a lot longer, especially if you use the better material. You get those and you start crossing those off your plate.
Yeah.
And then as you start getting all those other streets taken care of, then you start hitting the high traffic areas. 72nd and Dodge. If you wait, 72nd Street's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Dodge is another one. Then you have Maple, and there's a few others that are like major roads around here. If you wait on those and you say you clean the other ones off, that way when you start doing construction on those main roads, those side streets are going to be a lot easier for traffic to go through.
That's a pretty good idea, actually, I guess.
So,
okay.
I just, you would think that someone in planning would have, been able to put two and two together.
Or planned it a little bit better.
Yeah. Just crazy, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So, I'm thinking about calling the city here this week on our 78th Street up here.
Yeah, because they just left it, right?
Yeah, it's...
They tore up the street
and it's been almost
walked away.
Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks like this.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Well, and see, that's part of the problem. So here's what the deal is. They tore it up, and instead of patching it real quick right away, now we're going to drive on that crap.
Yeah.
So when they go because now we're going to make the road worse, because when they lay over it, we're doing damage to that street. Mm-hmm. They're not going to do the correct material, so it's just what's going to happen is they're going to have to redo it because,
because they didn't do it right.
They didn't do it right, and they waited too long. So you got weather, so they strip it. Then you got rain, and all that stuff is going to cause that problem.
Yeah. I wonder how long it'll take them to redo 75 South.
It depends on if they were doing the way they did the North or the South.
I'm talking about if they do redoing the South lanes, because those are going to have to be redone.
Well, yeah. And here's the thing: by the time they finish the South lanes, and they're going to get those to look like the North lanes are going to deteriorate because, again, they didn't use the correct material.
Right.
They used cheap crap, and it's going to deteriorate again.
Yep.
And they're too busy fixing the same roads over and over again to even get to any other roads. I mean, our people that do that are beyond stupid. They are.
I definitely agree with you on that one.
So, going back to our worst cities that we did, were you surprised someone wasn't on the list? As far as cities go.
As far as cities, I'm surprised, like your major cities like New York City or Los Angeles or San Francisco wasn't on there. Kind of surprised. Yeah,
so I don't get that either. So I don't know where that goes. I mean, why are they so much better and these aren't?
I have no idea. I'd like to know that, actually.
That would be like, what's LA doing different than and New York? What are they doing different with their roads than we are? Because there's more traffic on those roads.
Right. And there's, a lot of heavier cars and a lot more cars. So, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And especially, like, as close as everything is in New York City, like,
yeah.
I don't know. That's really shocking to me. So.
It is to me. I just don't get it. So, and weather for New York and us, the weather's going to be pretty much the same, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's, cold, rainy, snowy.
Right. Yeah.
Gets cold temperatures, gets hot.
Yeah.
So, I guess, why are they doing so much better and we're not? Now, they're worse on the states, though. They were number 10 on the states.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
California wasn't on that list. They weren't on the top 10.
No.
That's kind of surprising, too.
Yeah, and it's weird how you don't see... A lot of them were, like, the upper Midwest states, too. So, like, yeah. Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan.
Yeah, so. That's kind of... I don't know. I mean, if the Midwest and the upper Midwest is getting all the same material and it's just all crap, I mean, that would explain it, but I just don't get it.
Yeah. And, like, there wasn't, like, southern states in there either.
Yeah, Florida. Florida wasn't on there.
Yeah. Like Georgia, Alabama. Yeah.
Arkansas wasn't on the list.
No.
So I'm surprised, too. You remember coming through all the construction they had down there? Oh my goodness, that was ridiculous.
What did you call it? What do you call it? The cones. Where they all went to die.
The cone graveyard.
Yeah.
There was so many cones.
There were. I mean, they went for miles on both sides.
It was, on both sides. So...
I mean, they definitely wanted to make sure that you did not miss that side.
No. I think that was they're like, I don't know, they had to use every cone in the state
I think
on
so,
that one little road. They can't have that many cones in that state, can they?
Oh, no. Maybe that was the only road they were working on in the state or something. So they just, convened them all there.
Or anywhere else they're working. Sorry, we're out of cones. It's ridiculous.
No cones for you.
Yeah, the deer listen to the cones, too. They're like, I get across there.
I know. That was funny, your cousin's friend.
Yeah, so we went down to, it was El Dorado, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they call it the armpit, or the butthole of Arkansas.
Yeah.
And it's we weren't really in the town, but, it's, from what I understand, it's supposed to be this little shithole town.
Yeah. I mean, we were there for like an hour or two in the dark, so we didn't see much of the town.
Yeah. I do like that trip when we went down there. They're like, oh yeah, we're like, cancer capital of the world.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, everybody here gets cancer because of all the factories. Like, what?
Like, way to be proud there.
Right. So we pick up my father's old car, and then we're coming back, and so the deer, we counted how many. I can't even remember how many deer we counted.
There were so many.
I would say hundreds upon hundreds.
Yeah.
And we get over to my buddy, to my cousins.
Yeah.
And his buddy's there, and they're working on a car. And I tell them, I'm like, man, the deer were all over, and they were kind of getting close to the road. And what did he say?
He said that they won't cross the road.
Yeah, he goes, oh yeah, they know better to cross the road. They won't cross.
Like, how do they know? Like, really?
I don't know. That blew my mind.
I was like, what?
Is there like a deer gang down there? The East Coast and the West Coast deer down there?
East side, west side.
East side, west side, and there's a dispute.
Yeah.
And they won't cross each other unless they're going to shank someone.
Yeah, they won't cross the highway.
Yeah, the highways are their territorial divide.
Yeah.
So that was ridiculous. That's crazy.
I have never heard that come out of someone's mouth seriously before. in my life. Like, we joke about it all the time, because you see those signs about the deer crossing.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, haha, how do they know not to cross here? And then for someone to actually say they know not to cross.
There's that one. It's I want to say it was it turned into a blonde joke. It's like, the girl's like, this is a busy road. Why don't they put the sign somewhere else so they know somewhere else to cross?
Right?
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. It's not like they walk up and, oh yeah, there's a sign, I can cross here.
Yeah.
It's not like a crosswalk for deer.
Or we have the next mile to cross.
Right. No, those signs are for drivers warning them that deer will cross that road.
Right.
Some people, I tell you what. But no, the roads down in Arkansas, I mean, they didn't seem like they were the best either. So there's a few roads we were on that I'm like, whoa. Like when we went out to my cousin Jamie's, we go across that bridge. You remember the walls that it had up there? And you had like 2 inches on each side of your car to go through.
Well, they were working on that too, weren't they?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it seemed like they're always working on it.
Yeah.
And like the lanes were narrow.
They were, yeah.
And I'm like, my car needs a diet. Because I'm pretty close to hitting both barriers.
Yep.
Driving the middle of the road. So, yeah. I've grown up in Kansas City.
Okay.
Lived there many, many years. Same problem with the roads down there. I mean, they get pretty bad.
Yeah, I think unfortunately it's all over. I'm pretty sure everywhere has their issues.
Yeah.
So
I'm still going to get behind my potheads for potholes campaign. It just almost seems like it's perfect.
That is a pretty good idea, yeah. I'm sure a lot of people would be willing to support that.
Well, yeah. I mean, we should and at least get us a casino up here, too.
Right?
I mean, I just don't understand why we don't want that revenue.
I don't get it either.
That's crazy. So, I don't know. But, yeah, with potholes, I mean, I think every state I've gone to has had it. Iowa's been, I don't know, Iowa, every time we've gone out to Iowa, I don't think it's been that bad, has it?
I think they're kind of done working on I-35 for a while now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, or no, I-29.
I-29?
Yeah.
Well, their roads aren't too bad. The only problem I have with Iowa is the damn railroad crossings. They can't figure out how to make the road go either above or below the railways. I mean, do you remember stopping at that train track for a while?
No.
We were going to that Army surplus store over there, remember?
Oh, yeah, in Council Bluffs.
In Council, Kentucky, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the train comes through and you're like, everybody just sits here.
Yeah, well, it's a train yard, so yeah. You kind of have that.
You would think with a little ingenuity they could figure out how to make those roads kind of one go above the other.
Or not have one go through there.
Well, I'm okay with trains going through, but I mean...
I just think it was a bad spot for a road.
It's poor planning.
Yeah.
That's what it also ultimately comes down to, is bad planning, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean... And you don't even get me started on roundabouts.
We love roundabouts, don't we?
On the way to go to Mikey's school,
yeah,
there's
4
roundabouts in a mile period, right?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Now, we've also been out in the middle of nowhere with your dad.
Yeah.
And ran into roundabouts there.
Yeah, they put them at busier highway sections to I don't know, I guess slow traffic. Yeah, I don't get it.
Listen, I know roundabouts are good. Roundabouts are great. I know other countries use them quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Us Americans don't know how to use them.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times I've seen someone stop at a roundabout and wait for traffic?
Well, sometimes you do have to stop.
You shouldn't ever have to stop at a roundabout. That's the point of a roundabout. The roundabout is where you're going to have to go through traffic. Now, you're also supposed to leave, 1 to 2 car lengths in between there. So when you're going through, you should be able to slow down and time and get in between cars.
Yeah.
We don't know how to do that.
We don't.
We panic and we, turn into pudding. And just like, oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, which way did he go, George? It's crazy the way, we run those.
Yeah.
The only way we could actually improve the way we use roundabouts is throwing a few potholes in there, because we know what to do with those.
Right?
That's,
I love watching the buses in the morning go through those.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, they struggle a little bit.
Yeah, they're not really...
You can tell a new driver from an older driver.
Well, and certain roundabouts, depending on their size, if they, like the ones over on this school, they're small. They're tiny little roundabouts.
Yeah.
They're not designed for a big vehicle.
No.
And they put them in right down the street from a school that has buses coming in and out there. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
That was so stupid. I can't believe they did that.
Just some of the stupid things they do.
And so many of them.
Right. I could get 1, maybe 2, 1 on each side. That would work. I'm actually really surprised Texas wasn't even on our list with all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They're a huge state.
Yeah, they've got a lot of big cities, too.
A lot of big cities, and I think they still run some cattle drives down there, too, so...
Do they?
Oh, yeah. It's still cattle country down there.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So, one of the other things I've noticed that Omaha started to do as well is, and it's kind of upset a lot of people, too, they've changed a couple of the streets that were paved, and they just broke them up and turned them into gravel roads.
They did?
Yep.
Where is that at?
I know that they've done it to a couple streets. I know going out, what is it, the road that we go out? When we're going out to LB's, that little Mexican restaurant out there in the middle of nowhere. There's one of the roads where you go through, it's paved, and then all of a sudden you hit the gravel and you keep moving. So there's a few of the roads that, I guess they said, it's not worth their time to go in there and fix it. So they basically went in there, grinded it up and threw gravel and said, that's what you get.
Oh, wow.
So.
Interesting.
Well,
I didn't know that.
Susie out in Colorado, her road was all gravel.
Yeah, but a lot of the neighborhoods are like that.
Well, so...
Her whole neighborhood was like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that whole subdivision there that they lived in were all like that. So, I guess that's the other question is, do you actually need paved roads? Or would gravel roads work? I guess that's the other big question is, what works better? I would gather if it's not very, very much traffic, you could probably run with a gravel road.
Oh, yeah.
But...
And theirs was kind of weird because it wasn't really like gravel. It was more like,
dirt gravel?
Not like a sand, but it was more like, it wasn't like the big chunks of gravel.
No, it was a little bit finer. Yeah. It was like pea size.
Yeah.
Pea gravel is, I think, what they call it.
Oh, okay.
It's not like the big chunks of like white limestone or anything like that. Yeah.
So, yeah. I kind of actually didn't mind that too much in their neighborhood. It wasn't that bad.
No, and it'll slow traffic down in that neighborhood too.
Yeah.
So, I'm not against it, but my problem is gravel, potholes, manhole covers. Those are worse when you're on a bike.
Yeah.
Because you feel every inch of it. Can you imagine kind of like barely hitting one of those manhole covers on a bike
No.
and having that, it'll flip you.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. So
That's scary.
yeah, it can be. That's why I was getting ready to get my bike out, and I'm like, they start tearing out that road. I'm like, well, that's going to be done for me. I'm not going to even bother.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping next year
We'll
the
get
roads
them out.
will be a little better and we get them out.
Yeah.
We just had too much stuff going on this year, so
Well, we did.
it'll be nice to get them out, I think. So
Yeah.
I still laugh every time I see someone planting a tree in a pothole.
I know.
I mean, the fact that people have come up with like fishing poles and
Like creative ways to.
right.
Yeah.
So now here's an interesting thing you probably didn't know.
Okay.
So I just saw in Canada, they have these stickers that they'll put down on the roads that look like a pothole to help slow people driving.
Really?
Yep. So they have very, very nice roads, but they actually have to put stickers down so it makes it look like a pothole, that they're coming in a pothole, so people will slow down to go through that.
Wow.
Yeah, so little stickers. America, we decided to use a 3D effects.
We did.
So, we don't have little stickers. We actually have the actual potholes. It's just not as seen on TV.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's kind of interesting that they have that.
That is.
They've also have some really crazy things like stickers of people crossing the road. So when you see them, you have to slow down, and then you realize there's a sticker, and you go on.
Well, let me run it over anyway.
Right. Can you imagine giving someone, a new driver, giving a heart attack as they turn around and go, oh my God, and then they realize it was a sticker?
I'd be so mad.
After a while, that might work for the first few times you see it, but it's not going to work after that. People are going to know, oh no,
Like, let's see how fast we can hit that sticker today.
Yep. Yeah, that could happen. So it's kind of crazy. So
yeah,
it's amazing that people get, pretty creative when it comes to that. And you would think our governments would, realize and say, hey, this is our roadway is a major problem. It's a major issue.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, and I will, it's most of these EV vehicles, these electric vehicles, those batteries weigh a lot.
Yeah.
You're going to put more pressure on those roads driving an EV vehicle because it's heavier. And of course, heavier vehicles do more toll on the road.
How heavy are they?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You asked me a question like that when I'm not prepared. Jiminy Christmas. I don't know. I want to say they're quite a bit more than a regular car.
Wow. I mean, would they add like 50 pounds or?
Oh, no. You're talking, tonnage.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, wow.
So let me look it up here. So,
okay.
Electric vehicles can be anywhere from hundreds to thousands of pounds heavier than similarly sized gas vehicles.
Wow.
Because EV batteries are so much heavier than engines. For example, the 23 GMC Hummer EV, a full-sized pickup that weighs more than 9,000 pounds.
Jeez.
And it sports a 2,900 pound battery.
Holy smokes.
Almost 3,000 just for the battery for that.
Wow. That is crazy.
That's also one of the other problems is the batteries don't last what they need to. So, of course, they're bigger battery banks.
Can you imagine if you were to, hit one of those, head on?
Oh, they're heavy.
Holy crap.
Yeah. They're not a light vehicle. So, those vehicles are going to be doing a lot more damage to the roads. So when California goes to their all-electric vehicle in, 2035, I hope their roads are prepared.
I hope so too.
This is where I was talking about the infrastructure.
Yeah.
The infrastructure is not only just the roadways that support this, but the electrical grid. So, and I will tell you, you've had a couple electronics that you've carried around, right?
Yeah.
And every time you drop it, does your heart skip a beat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is this going to still work, right?
Yep.
And the cell phones, that's why we have cases and all that stuff to help, shock absorb it.
Right.
But every time, your laptop, can you imagine dropping your laptop?
Yeah. No.
You'd be like, ugh. Especially if it wasn't in the bag or anything.
Right.
So, what do you think happens when these EVs hit a pothole? And I'm not talking about like the little tiny, I'm talking about the 3-bedroom, 2-bath, with a view pothole and we've all hit the pothole. We hit a pothole so hard sometimes that you're like, ooh, I need to apologize to my car.
Right.
Can you imagine that on an EV? And what happens if you hit too many of them in it? Because those batteries, you got to think things will start wiggling a little bit in there.
Right.
So what happens if one of those wiggled just right and causes a spark, and next thing you know, your vehicle's on fire?
That would suck.
Yep. So, like I said, as much as I wish we could get to, all electric vehicles, we're not. We're not going to do it. And really, the reason they want to do that is to get off of oil. And from what I understand, if everybody switched over to electric vehicles, it will we would save 10% in the oil that we use. So it's not even a dent.
Yeah.
Most of that oil is airplanes and stuff like that.
Wow. That's crazy.
Now, there's the material that we need. Runways hold those planes quite well, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Why aren't our roadways made out of the same material they make the runways from?
I have no idea. It's a good question.
If you could land an airplane on that and not have a pothole.
And airplane after airplane after airplane.
Right.
Yeah.
You're kidding me. So
right.
Somebody needs to get a hold of those and say, hey, what are you using for your runways? Because
how'd you do that?
We need to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Runway after runway after runway and plane after plane after plane. It gets kind of crazy.
Yeah. So
I don't see potholes on those.
I hope there's not any.
Me too.
So, could you imagine that?
Yeah, that's the one place I don't. Don't worry.
That was just the 2-bedroom down there.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine it big enough that whole front wheel gets sunk in and goes sliding on its nose? That'd be They have you got to use the best material to make things last. So
yes, you do.
All right, so let's start talking about next episode. We're going to start while we're in fall.
Well, we are. We've hit that time of the year.
We have. Are you ready for fall?
Yes and no.
Yes and no?
Mostly yes, though.
Mostly yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not ready for winter, but I'm glad fall is finally here.
Yeah, a little cooler weather, not so hot.
Yep.
I would like to get out there and use our fire pit.
Yeah.
Have maybe a little barbecue out there.
That would be nice, yep.
Work into it. Are we going to do a hayrack ride this year?
I don't know. We're going to try to, I think, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hayrack ride. There's all over the place, right? There's...
Oh, yeah. There's a ton of places around here that do them.
Vala's Pumpkin Patch is open.
Mm-hmm.
Skinny Bones is open.
Yeah.
They do bonfires, the whole pumpkin patch there.
Mm-hmm. Bellevue Berry Farm.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
A little smaller, I think, is what I like that. Yeah. Vala's is great. It's huge, though.
It's just too big.
It's almost like an amusement park there, isn't it?
Yeah. You can't... I'm sure you can hit everything in one day, but there's just so much, and it's...
Yep. Well, you go hit what you can and move on. So, they have season passes, so...
Yeah.
kind of go hit those. And Skinny Bones is kind of small too, I think, too.
Oh, yeah, they're really small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I think there's a couple other, like, a couple other places that have the, the hayrack rides, like the winery, a couple wineries. I know one winery does.
Yeah, Deer Springs.
Deer Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Shady Lane, which is that horse riding place out there.
Yeah.
I think they have a hayrack ride as well.
I think they do too, yeah.
Yeah. So 'tis the season, so
'Tis the season.
time for that flannel to come out.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be pretty good. And
Love the flannel.
now haunted houses are going here pretty good too.
They are, yeah.
Now, was that what haunted house just got hit?
I think it was the Shadow's Edge.
Which one is that?
Isn't that the one by Mangelson's?
Oh, is that Mangelson's?
Yeah, in their
haunted
parking
house?
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess someone was doing donuts in the parking lot and hit the side
Yeah.
and made the whole front of it fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's too bad. What other haunted houses are there around here? Because we go to one don't we go? Well, we went to the Berry Farm.
Yeah.
So the Berry Farm, we do their haunted hayrack ride, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can do that this year?
I don't know. Maybe.
We normally go do that with Lacey, so...
Yeah. I know they just closed one of the major ones here that they did. I think either Mystery Manor, I think they closed that one.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, but there's still Scary Acres.
Oh, Scary Acres. I think they have like 3 or 4 there that they have, right?
Yep.
And they have bonfires and... Is that the one where it's like that one whole like complex there?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah.
I think they have like 3 haunted houses there that you go through.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have like this common area where you could have like bonfires and all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah, that's right. Gosh, we haven't been there forever either.
Oh no, Mikey, you were kind of small when we went to there last time. Do you remember?
I think that was like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was working with the previous company that I was with.
Yeah.
So, and because I went with some of the employees there, remember we met them up there?
We did?
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't remember that?
No.
I want to call her the goth girl. She used to sit right beside me, and then we met her up there, and then it was her and I think her boyfriend or husband. We met them up there, and then I believe Tiffany. We've been up there with Tiffany and Austin, haven't we? Or
We have been up there with Tiffany and Austin. I know we have.
Yep. But we went out there with. We had pictures of us where Mikey was terrified of them. Remember?
Oh
Yeah.
my god, I was so terrified of those guys. The lines were so long that they would have like people out there just like walking down the lines and scaring people.
Yeah.
Yep. So Mikey gets scared real easy, so they got him pretty good. So
Yeah.
no, so yeah, it's a lot of fall activities.
Yep, that time of the year.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
I think Serenity is old enough now that maybe we could do like we'll see what we're doing for trick or treating with
Yeah.
her and
Oh, yeah.
carving pumpkins and what else do you do for Halloween? Hold a seance? I don't know what.
Get out the Ouija board.
Get out the Ouija board. Make sure you close that thing, otherwise the ghosts stick around apparently,
Yeah.
and the boogums will get you.
Yep.
So no, it's getting there. So haunted
Yes, it
houses
is.
are going. Hayrack rides are going. Time to go out and have a little fun, little bit of fun anyway.
Yes, it is. Some, what did they do? Is it cider? Pumpkin cider or something like that? Or,
Are you talking about the white girl drink?
yeah, the pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice. Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you drink that?
Spice
No,
lattes.
that's gross.
I don't drink. No.
Yeah. Ugh.
That's kind of a red flag for me. I mean, if I was going to date someone and like we went to grab some coffee and they started ordering that pumpkin spice latte or whatever, that's it. I think that's going to end the date for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't need
Man.
that. I don't need that kind of drama in my life.
Oh, you're funny.
Well, they'll whatever and I'll whatever,
Yep. Be like, peace out.
Enjoy your drink there.
Yep.
Get a real drink.
Yeah. Go for the
What do you
go
drink
for the
there?
good stuff.
You drink the mocha, right?
Yeah, I do the peppermint mocha.
Okay, well, that's more. Yeah, that's like almost a Christmas drink, though.
Yeah. Well, Starbucks has it year round.
No, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's okay.
I don't like it as much as Scooters, but
Yeah, that's at least you're not hitting any potholes through their drive-through, right?
yeah.
That's the only plus there, right?
Yes, it is.
Get a milkshake or something, or I tell you, that's what we need to do. Hit every pothole on the way to the gym. I could take one of those little shaker cups, put all my stuff, put it in a cup holder. It'll be mixed by the time I get to the gym.
I don't think the streets are that bad.
You underestimate Omaha. I think they're pretty bad.
Okay.
I want to say our old market, they have all the old roads. So
Oh yeah, they still have a lot of the brick roads.
yeah, so yeah. Now there's a lot of stuff going down there. There's all the fall stuff for like the farmers market and stuff like that too. So nope, there's a lot of stuff to do. So
Yep, there's always stuff to do. So yeah.
all right. Well, good after show. Good after show. I'm happy with this one.
Alrighty then.
All right, I guess we'll go on to the next, and that'll be our show.
Alrighty, bye everybody.